Always a pleasure to talk to Alexander Gustafson. He joins us right now from Sweden. Alex, how are you? Alex, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, thank you
Can
for
you
the...
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Thank you very much for the time.
Great.
I appreciate it. So we're 3 or so, maybe a little more than 3 weeks removed from the fight. When we talk about UFC 192 and Daniel Cormier, what are your feelings towards it?
I'm feeling good. I've been healing up quite good, and so it was a good fight, and we both just went in and went all in. So there's not much more to say about it.
Is a fight like that easier to digest than what happened in January against Rumble, because you were so close? It was such a great fight. You've received so much respect and accolades after this Cormier fight. Is it easier, or are they both the same?
Well, it's a tough question. A loss is always a loss, and it's always hard to deal with. But I'd probably say that this one is easier than the January one against Anthony. That was a tough one. But I think it was more because it was in Stockholm and stuff like that. But it's a loss, and it's always tough, man.
Any serious injuries after the Cormier fight?
No, not at all. No, I think it looked worse than I actually was. I was just cut everywhere, and I don't know. It's never actually happened to me in a fight. I had a cut over the eye and in the nose, but somehow I got a cut in my mouth, and that was the worst one, I think.
Wow.
But it's just scratches. It's just flesh. And it hits up quite good. So no serious injury, no internal injury, nothing like that. So I'm fine, and I'm actually back in training. I trained today, and I did some drills with my friends, and then I did some heavy bag work. So I'm feeling fine.
Before they read the judges' scorecard, did you think you had done enough to win that fight?
Well, again, I didn't know when I was still standing there. Like, for example, the same with John. I've been talking about that too earlier. It's just one of those fights when you don't know what they're gonna say. You don't know. It's just a close fight, and I just felt it was very close. So I had no idea.
In the very early portion of the fight, he slammed you, which looked like this highlight reel move. What did that do for your confidence right there to get up off the ground like that? I'm assuming that's never happened to you in an MMA fight before. What were you thinking at that point?
No, I was surprised from of his power. He has just some brutal strength. And I'm kind of strong person and kind of heavy, so I didn't really see that slam coming. But he didn't hurt me at all. Just mentally, I was still there, and I just felt fine. I knew he was. That's actually one of his moves, so I wasn't that surprised. But it was just his strength that surprised me a little bit. And I saw, I just saw the roof, and then I saw the mat. So it was kind of a good move he did.
Have you watched the fight since it happened?
I haven't. No.
You haven't. Is that typical for you?
No. Yeah, I think so. It's just when you take that step to watch the fight, you actually lost. It's really, you need to have to take some courage, and I just need to find that and sit down with my team and watch it and see what the hell I do wrong all the time. When it comes to like the fifth round and stuff like that, it's just, I don't know. It's just like I'm getting that. I'm just number two, and I need to find out what's the problem are and how to win the fifth round, and win the fight. So I'm just gonna sit down with the team and see what we can do about it and what we can learn about it from it.
Do you think it's a cardio issue?
No, I don't think so. I just working my ass off every camp, and I'm feeling fine. And I don't know. I just, of course you're tired of the fifth round, but 5 rounds, but it's not like, I'm still kind of fresh after the fight, and it's just that I don't think I'm working enough. When you're fighting a guy like DC, he's just coming in and just pushes you. You have to push him back a little bit, and I think it's just the technical part and just put my things together in the fight.
So
it feels like I'm getting.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think just one-dimensional. I just do one thing. I need to work more on how to be not that a bit more unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that's something that happens as the fight goes on, or do you feel like you're like that throughout the entire fight?
No, it just as the fight goes on, and it just feels like I'm getting back to basics and I just go back to what I've always been doing. But as you're competing, you're just getting tougher and tougher opponents, and you have to develop yourself. And I'm developing in practice and in sparring and even in fights. But as the fight goes, I just go more and more back to what I did back in the days. And I need to be a little bit more unpredictable. Maybe I don't know. It's a really hard thing to fix, but I'm gonna fix it.
I'm sure you remember the third round. It looked like you had him in a lot of trouble, and he was rocked. It's very rare to see DC like that. Do you think if you have an extra minute or so, you were able to finish him?
I don't know, to be honest with you. That guy is just a tank. He did. I hit him with the. I've been dropping guys for a lot of years with those punches I throw it. I hit him with, but he just came at me, and I don't think even if I had a baseball bat and hit him with that, he was still coming after me. So he's a really tough guy, and he can take a beating and stuff like that. So it was a tough fight.
Was he tougher than you expected him to be?
No, I don't know. I knew he would be tough, but he just took everything I threw at him, and he just came at me. So I don't know. Maybe he surprised me a little bit in that fight, during the fight. But he's a tough guy. He's a really tough guy.
I got to say, the end of the fight reminded me why I love this sport, and in particular the fighters, so much. It was just so nice to see you guys embrace and to hear what both of you were saying about each other, the respect that he was giving you and you were giving him. Of course, he had more time to talk at the press conference and everything, but it was just a beautiful thing that you don't always see in other sports. And I was wondering if that's something that you had developed over the fight. Did you feel the same way as him? Like after the 25 minutes were over, is that just a bond that we don't understand because we've never been in there before? Do you now have you shared something with Daniel that for us regular people, it's out of our comprehension?
As you say it, I think that's, it's correct. That's how it is. You go in there and you just put everything you have in that octagon, and after that, you just share something with that guy you fought, and it's very hard for me also to put words on it. But it's a special feeling, and you just have that much respect for the other guy, and I think it's one of those things that you have to be in that situation to understand the feeling you get from that. So, absolutely.
Do you still love fighting as much as you did, say, before the John Jones fight?
I do. It's it's who I am. It's my identity. So it's I don't know what to do if I didn't fight. So I believe I do. It's just that you just need to keep growing as a fighter and as a person, and see what you're doing wrong and see what you're doing right. And I'm the type of person that always have been taking the long road, the tough road. So I just learn always new things, from actually my mistakes. So it's just going to keep going, and I just have to keep fighting. So, but I love the sport, and I just the team and everything. The whole thing is just it's just my life, you know.
So you're not thinking about retirement anymore, right?
No, I don't. I actually. I don't. I'm actually motivated, and you know, it just feels great to be back in training and doing what I love to do. And now I'm not allowed to fight for 6 months, so I've got some time to see to look at my training and my system and see what we can do better and develop everything.
What's a perfect scenario for you upon returning? Any specific place, opponent? Have you thought about that yet?
No, not at all. No. I'm just doing fun training right now, and that's all I'm doing. I don't think that much about the next opponent and the next competition. I'll probably will in very soon, but right now I'm just happy doing that kind of training you want to do and not like forced to do.
Right. They say this is when you get better, right? When you don't have a fight, when you're just in between camps and you can just focus on yourself as opposed to an opponent, right?
Exactly. So that's what I'm going to put all my time and energy in.
I've also noticed this, and I wanted to ask you about it. After the Rumble fight, people, and I'll admit it myself, were questioning, why are you getting a title shot after a loss? And then you have this fight, and it's so close, but yet the respect that you've developed and earned from the people, once again, it was the same thing as after the Jones fight. Did you notice that? Like, still, at the end of the day, there are 2 losses, but the way people view you now is a lot different than the way they viewed you in January.
Well, yeah, I got to say that I've seen I got the support, and I've been hearing from fans and read it from fans, and even if it's always great to deliver, to all the fans around the world, and get that support. It's really important after you come out of a loss. So it's been helping me a lot, and it motivates me a lot, when it comes to future competitions and so on. So.
Did you talk to Dana and or Lorenzo after the fight? Did they say anything to you?
Yeah. They called me and they just check out how I felt, and they gave me really, really good feedback, and so I got tons of support, and I really appreciate that, and it helps me to keep going.
You said that they told you they have big plans. What are these big plans that they have for you? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
You didn't ask?
That's all. That was no. I'm just in that moment when I talked to them, I wasn't that curious. I was just.
Right.
It was just after the fight and stuff like so. So I just, I'm really now I'm curious.
Maybe we should call them up on the phone right now. Do you want to call them right now on the air?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. We can take it another day.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm curious about it, and I'm probably going to talk to them in the future, and I'm going to see what's going on and the next step.
Okay, 2 last quick things. Are you happy to hear that Jon Jones is back, and are you still hopeful that you'll get another shot against him?
Yeah, I'm really happy, and I'm glad for him, and I can't wait to see him compete again. And let's see what the future brings. Maybe we'll have a second fight. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be something. And your teammate, Reza Madadi, came back on Saturday. Long layoff for him, and of course, he didn't pick up the win. What were your impressions of his performance? Do you think the layoff affected him? What did you think?
Well, he's been away for a while, and I think even if he lost that fight, he went in there, and he's been having some tough times, and he's back, and he just, as always, he put a good show for the fans, and I'm sure after this loss he's gonna develop a lot too, and get much better, and now he had his his first fight after the long layoff, so he's gonna be back, and he's gonna be better than ever. And he trains harder than anyone I know in the gym. So he's just gonna come back and get that win. So.
Alex, thank you very much for the time. You're a class act, my friend. And again, congratulations on an amazing performance. One of the best fights of the year. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Always a pleasure to watch you fight, and looking forward to your return, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. Take care.
There he is, Alexander Gustafson, the Mauler, stopping by. It's amazing. 2 losses in a row, but it's a much different Alexander Gustafson in the eyes of the fans and the media than back in January, when sometimes we've talked about this before. A loss doesn't do all that much to your reputation, to the way people view you, to your stock, so to speak. And that was the case after UFC 192. What a great performance. I called it an instant classic. Right below, in my opinion, Lawler versus McDonald. And in some way, I mean, you can make that argument for Fight of the Year. There's no doubt about it. I think in the end, as of right this second, that's probably the fight that you should bet on to win that award. But this one, very close and a lot of fun to watch. And once again, oh so close, but there's no shame in being number 2 to the likes of John Jones and Daniel Cormier and pushing those guys to the brink, which is what he did on both occasions. A great ambassador for the sport in Europe and, of course, in his home country of Sweden. And we appreciate him coming on, and his manager, Thomas, for hooking us up as well.